Your life isn't broken by accident. It's broken by patterns. You don't need motivation, you need a wake-up call. Comfort is costing you everything, and you're paying daily. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And deep down, you know it. Let's be clear, fixing your life isn't about hacks, trends, or waiting for the right moment. It's about ownership. Brutal, uncomfortable ownership. Most people stay stuck because they keep negotiating with their weaknesses instead of confronting them. This isn't a feel-good message. This is a line in the sand. Your results are a reflection of your standards, your habits, and the lies you keep telling yourself. If your life feels heavy, chaotic, or meaningless, there's a reason, and it's fixable. But only if you're willing to stop running, stop blaming, and start acting with discipline and clarity. This guide is simple, not easy. And that's exactly why it works. You can't fix a life you keep lying about. And the most dangerous lies are not the ones told to others. They're the quiet ones you whisper to yourself when no one is watching. The ones that sound reasonable. The ones that sound kind. The ones that say, it's not that bad. Or I'll start tomorrow, or this is just how things are. That's where everything breaks. Because the moment you lie to yourself, you split into two people. The one who knows the truth and the one who keeps running from it. And living divided like that drains your energy, clouds your judgment, and steals your future inch by inch. Here's the hard truth. Your life is not confusing, it's clear. You just don't like what you see. You know what you should be doing. You know what you've been avoiding. You know which habits are hurting you, which relationships are holding you back, which choices are keeping you small. That awareness is not missing. It's just uncomfortable. And most people choose comfort over clarity every single day. They say, I don't have time. When the truth is they don't have priorities. They say, I'm tired. When the truth is they're undisciplined. They say, one day I'll change. When the truth is they're afraid to start. And fear loves lies. Fear survives on them. If you want to fix your life, the first step is not action. It's honesty, brutal honesty. The kind that doesn't make excuses, doesn't point fingers, doesn't soften the truth to protect your ego. Because excuses feel good, but they age you fast. They make years disappear without progress. They turn potential into regret. Look closely at your life. Not emotionally, objectively. Are your results matching your words? Are your days aligned with your goals? Are your habits building strength or feeding weakness? If the answer stings, good. That sting is awareness waking up. See, truth doesn't come to shame you. It comes to free you. The moment you stop lying, you stop wasting energy pretending. And that energy returns as focus, as clarity, as power. There is a strange relief that comes when you finally say, this is my fault, not guilt, responsibility. Because if it's your fault, it's also your fix. And that's empowering. You don't need to explain your past. You need to confront your present. You don't need to defend who you've been. You need to decide who you're becoming. Most people never change because they keep negotiating with themselves. They make deals with bad habits. They justify poor standards. They tolerate what they should eliminate. And over time, tolerance becomes identity. What you tolerate, you teach yourself to accept. What you accept, you normalize. What you normalize, you live with. So ask yourself honestly, what lies have you been living with? The lie that you'll feel ready someday. The lie that others are holding you back. The lie that discipline will come later. The lie that you deserve comfort before effort. Those lies cost you more than you think. Truth, on the other hand, asks very little, but it demands everything. It asks you to stand still, look in the mirror, and stop pretending. It asks you to say, this ends now, not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, firmly, because real change doesn't announce itself. It begins with a private decision to stop lying, especially when the lie feels convenient. And once you do that, something shifts. Your mind sharpens, your choices simplify, your standards rise. You stop needing motivation because truth becomes your driver. You don't argue with reality anymore, you work with it. And life responds differently to someone who's honest with themselves. So if you're serious about fixing your life, start here. Strip away the stories. Drop the excuses. Face the facts, because the truth may be uncomfortable, but it will never betray you. You can't build a strong life while feeding what weakens you. And most people already know what that is. They just keep it around because letting go feels harder than staying stuck. Here's the truth. Most don't want to hear. Your life is not heavy because you're doing too much. It's heavy because you're carrying what no longer belongs. Habits, people, routines, distractions, they drain you quietly, slowly, politely. And that's why they're dangerous. Weakness rarely arrives screaming. It arrives smiling. It arrives familiar. It arrives saying, just one more time. And one more time becomes a lifestyle. If you look closely at your energy, not your intentions, not your words, but your actual energy, you'll see where your life is leaking. You wake up tired, not because life is hard, but because you keep giving your best hours to things that give nothing back. Entertainment that numbs you. Conversations that keep you small. Comfort that delays your calling. And you can't expect clarity while drowning in noise. You can't expect strength while practicing weakness every day. Every habit is a vote. Every choice is a direction. And every repeated behavior is shaping who you are becoming, whether you like it or not. People say, I don't know why I feel stuck, but look at what they refuse to remove. Look at what they protect. Look at what they excuse. Because whatever you refuse to cut will eventually cut you. This isn't about being extreme. It's about being honest. If something steals your focus, your discipline, your self-respect, it is not neutral. It is hostile to your future. Some things don't hurt you immediately. They hurt you eventually. And that delay is what tricks you into thinking they're harmless. But time always collects its debt. Weak habits don't just waste minutes. They waste years. They dull your standards. They lower your tolerance for effort. They make discipline feel unnatural and laziness feel normal. And once weakness feels normal, strength feels uncomfortable. That's why change feels painful. Not because it's wrong, but because you've been feeding the opposite for too long. Understand this, elimination comes before elevation. Before you add discipline, you subtract distraction. Before you build focus, you cut noise. Before you ask life for more, you remove what's draining you. Growth is not about doing more, it's about doing less of what doesn't matter. There comes a moment in every serious life where you must say, this cannot come with me. Not angrily, not emotionally, but decisively, because your future is expensive. It demands focus, it demands energy, it demands sacrifice. And you don't have enough space for everything. You can't weigh comfort and ambition at the same time. One will always dominate. Most people wait for weakness to destroy them before they take it seriously. They wait until health is gone, time is gone, confidence is gone. But wisdom cuts early. Wisdom sees where the road leads and changes direction before the crash. So ask yourself, quietly, honestly, what are you keeping that is keeping you back? Is it a habit you defend? Is it a routine you refuse to change? Is it people who don't challenge you? Is it the constant escape from responsibility? Whatever it is, it has a cost. And the longer you delay the cut, the deeper the wound becomes. Letting go feels like loss at first. But what you gain is far greater. Clarity, strength, momentum. You start waking up lighter, thinking sharper, acting cleaner. Your mind stops fighting itself. Your energy stops leaking. Your life starts moving forward again. Because when you remove what weakens you, strength doesn't need motivation. It emerges naturally. Discipline becomes simpler. Focus becomes natural. Confidence becomes earned. This is not about punishment. This is about respect, self-respect. You don't cut weakness because you hate yourself. You cut it because you believe your life is worth more than short-term comfort. And once you make that decision, once you stop negotiating with the things that drain you, your future finally has room to grow. Motivation is a visitor. Discipline is a resident. And if you keep waiting for motivation to show up before you act, you'll spend your life standing still, watching time walk past you with everything you ever wanted. Here's the truth. Most people never accept motivation is unreliable. It comes when conditions are perfect, when emotions are high, when the mood is right. And life does not run on perfect conditions. Life runs on pressure, responsibility, and days when you don't feel like showing up. That's where discipline enters, not as a feeling, but as a decision. Discipline is doing what needs to be done long after the excitement has faded. It's choosing the long-term reward over the short-term escape. It's acting in alignment with your future, not your mood. Most people build their lives on emotions. They work when they feel inspired. They grow when they feel confident. They change when they feel ready. And because feelings change, their lives never stabilize. Feelings are weather. Discipline is climate. If you want a stable life, you don't build it on how you feel today. You build it on what you've decided matters. Think about this. The people who win are not the most motivated. They are the most consistent. They don't argue with themselves every morning. They don't wait to feel powerful. They show up because showing up is who they are. That identity, that quiet inner standard, changes everything. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. It's saying, I will keep promises to myself even when no one is watching. And every time you do that, something powerful happens. Trust is built. Not with others, with yourself. And self-trust is the foundation of confidence. You don't gain confidence by thinking about it. You gain it by doing hard things repeatedly. You gain it by keeping your word. You gain it by following through on days when quitting would be easier. That's why discipline comes before motivation. Because discipline creates momentum, and momentum creates motivation. Most people get that backward. They say, once I feel motivated, I'll be disciplined. But discipline is the spark. Motivation is the flame. You light the fire by acting, not by waiting. Look at your life and ask yourself, where are you negotiating instead of committing? Where are you relying on willpower instead of structure? Willpower is emotional. Structure is mechanical. Structure doesn't care how you feel, it just works. That's why routines change lives. Not because they're exciting, but because they remove decision fatigue. They eliminate debate. They make progress automatic. When discipline becomes routine, success becomes predictable. Small disciplines practiced daily carry more weight than massive efforts done occasionally. The body responds to consistency. The mind responds to consistency. Life responds to consistency. And here's the part most people miss. Discipline is built in private. It's built when no one applauds. It's built when results are invisible. It's built when effort feels unrewarded. That's why so few people develop it. But those quiet repetitions, the early mornings, the focused hours, the uncomfortable restraint, they compound. Slowly at first, then suddenly, one day. Why? You realize you don't need motivation anymore. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for excitement. You move because movement is your standard. That's freedom. Discipline frees you from excuses. Discipline frees you from emotional swings. Discipline frees you from the need to feel ready. And the deeper truth is this: life respects discipline. It responds to it. Opportunities trust it. Responsibility grows around it. A disciplined person can be trusted with more opportunity, more influence, more responsibility, more life. So if you're tired of starting and stopping, if you're tired of feeling behind, if you're tired of knowing what to do but not doing it, stop chasing motivation. Build structure, build routine, build standards. Decide once and for all how you live, how you work, how you show up, and stop renegotiating with your weaker self. Because the future you want is not waiting for your feelings to change.